Welcome to Talking Comics. We got Laurie with us. This is so exciting. I've seen you online. We've talked a little bit online, but follow your stuff online. It's been very cool to see. But before we go into your comic and all your success, tell us about you, Laurie.
Hi, everybody. I'm Laurie Calcaterra. I'm the writer-creator of Path of the Pale Rider. I actually got into comics through martial arts. I was choreographing fight scenes. I managed a fight group, um, and we worked with a production company based out of Detroit called Coattail Collective. And I started writing short form content for them, and got bit with the writing bug, and then started had big ideas and didn't know what to do with them and wanted to do comics. My husband's a big comic reader. He's big on Kickstarter, funding things. So it was his idea that I bring it to this medium. And so I did. And I came in like a wrecking ball. We'll just put it that way.
You have. I love that. So you caught the writing bug.
Yeah,
Tell us
it
about
bit me hard. It was one of those, like, now I have 7,000 ideas, right? And, I have the biggest respect for those guys that run, like, 4 different IPs and they rotate throughout the year. I don't have that in me. That's insane, those guys that are able to be that organized and timely and meet deadlines and work with multiple teams. I wanna work with my one team and work on my one book. That doesn't mean I'm not writing other stuff, though.
Oh. Did you write before at all?
Not
Before
rea
this?
no, I never even considered writing as a career, growing up. I went to college, I actually have a major, Bachelor in Fine Arts and a minor in music. So, I'm really creative, but I never thought about writing stories, until the production company. I've done martial arts forever. I started, Pencak Silat in 1997. I've done Filipino and Indonesian martial arts, so weapons-based, sticks, knives, machetes, flexible weapons, gun disarms, all that good stuff, right? So that's the tie-in, I guess. I've been doing that, and then the production company was just like, "We like what you're doing, um, do you wanna do more for us?" And I was like, "Sure." So without them, their push to be like, "We like what you're writing, write some more for us," I wouldn't be here. So, funny how things work out.
Always funny how things
Mhm.
work out. I was not I've been yelled at a few times for saying I'm not a writer. I was not a writer. Um, I
Right?
am a writer now. I've got a
Yeah.
comic that's coming out, and I'm writing a second script, which is even crazier. It's gonna be cool. Um, but I just never thought I would be a writer. Like, I am not a
Yeah.
writing person, like, I'm a math guy, right? I
Yeah.
love reading comics, but that's about it. So, so then you transferred that into a comic book.
Yeah, I
How
had
did
to
that work?
learn. Gosh, it was like, drinking out of a fire hydrant. It's, how do I convert? Because when I was writing in script, right? Movie
Mm,
script. So,
okay.
Path of the Pale Rider is actually a full-length movie script. And so I had to figure out how to break it down to tell it, sequentially. And then I had to learn comic book scripts. So page one, panel one, description, establishing shots, and it lends itself to kind of the same process as writing a movie script because you're telling the movie department, whoever, the director, the camera people, what shot you want, what angle you want, is it night, is it day, what the setting is, what the characters look like in the script before you start the action. And so I think that kind of lent itself for like, okay, this is easy because in panel one we need to establish where we are, right? Panel two, is the action where the character is coming into the shot, so it's far, but the action's coming towards it lends itself very easily in my mind. So it wasn't that hard of a, transition. It was a lot of looking at this script and then rewriting it, which I think actually fine-tuned the script. Um, there was a few challenges I had, though, because in Path of the Pale Rider specifically, sound is very important. Either it's super quiet or it's so loud it's deafening, and it's like, how do you translate that onto a static image? So we have found some ways to do that, different ways depending on, the issue. So there was that, and then of course, dialogue. We love writing dialogue. People don't want to read a whole page of dialogue and exposition in a comic book. So it's like you have to pare all that down. You have to be specific. You have to be descriptive and to the point, and let the pacing, really be on point because it's comic book. It's not a 300, 700,000 page novel. You don't have that
You,
time.
you have pictures to back it up too.
And exactly, that's it. It's like, so we have to show and tell very briefly in every panel. So you have to be concise and understand your medium. So
Show and tell.
show and tell. Some dialogue, but it's like the body gesture and the facial expression and action in the background and all of that. It all makes the one image, so powerful.
That was something I noticed reading your first issues. You had some awesome sound effect words in there. I really enjoyed that. I want to try to incorporate some of those into my second, because I don't think I only have a couple little ones in
Yeah.
my first issue, but mine are one shots. So
Hmm.
they're tied in the same universe, but they're not like a continuing. I couldn't imagine like how many you're at 9.
Yeah.
What
This is
where you
8.
see this going? Or this is 8?
This is
Okay,
8.
this is 8.
Right.
Where how many do you see it going to?
Okay. So I have written quite a bit out there. So if Path was a Netflix series, so se- season 1 is 12 issues or 12
Okay.
episodes, and there are 3 seasons of 12.
36 issues?
So technically, if we did 24-page issues, it would be 36. Now, once I finish 12, I'm going to reassess and see if that's still what I want to do. Because if you think about it, if I continue on the same pace that I'm going, which is two issues a year, that's 18 years of my life. But the story is too good to sit on it. So I don't know. There's a few things I've considered. Like it depends on the Kickstarters if they start to grow, which they are. I might be able to do something like instead of 12 issues, it's 6 issues, but 48 pages. So the story might be
Okay.
able to come out a little quicker, but it's still the same amount of content, just in bigger chunks. I've also considered telling it as a novel. Um, and that way the story can get no.
Oh.
He's like, "No, not on this show, we're not talking about that." But I'm
No.
just saying, like I'm just saying, like,
I'm like, "No,
I don't
I want all the artwork too."
I'm not saying that we're not going to do it, but here's the thing, people are dying to know the end of the story, and I don't wanna take 18 years to get there. I wanna be able to tell it, maybe a little bit quicker, and then that might actually help me fund bigger Kickstarters because people
Okay.
want to see it play out, right?
Right.
So if I tell it as a novel and get the story out there, then I can go back and I can do them as graphic novel. I love
Yeah,
both mediums.
that's
So
true.
again,
Okay,
everything is
you
like, I don't
convinced
know. We'll
me.
see when we get there.
You convinced me. I'll go with it. I won't read the novel, but
You don't
go
have
for
to.
it. Right, I'll wait for the Now you're doing I think I saw you have a trade, right?
I
For the
do.
first 4 issues?
Yeah.
Are you gonna do a trade for the second 4?
Yes. So
Just later.
yeah. So, okay, every 4 issues, we're releasing a trade, and, it's on Amazon, it's on Barnes& and
Okay.
Noble, it's actually online on a few bookstores overseas too, I forget which ones, but in the
Sweet.
UK. So yeah, so it's like if you're more of a trade reader, we're gonna release them that way. Once all 12 of the first arc are finished, we will get an omnibus, so they're all together, and so you'll be able to read it kinda whichever you feel like. So if you love the variant covers and the exclusives and, you follow certain artists like William Russell and Ken Salinas, like do the individual issues because I have exclusives that way and you can kind of build your own collection. If you're more of a trade reader, we have those too in a couple different sizes. And then of course,
Sweet.
if you want to wait all the way to the omnibus, God bless you, but the whole world will know the secret before you do. So don't
I
wait.
don't know if I can wait that long.
No, don't wait for the omnibus. We are getting into some really good stuff. Let's just put it that way.
I mean, that's another 3 years before that omnibus comes. We can't 2 Yeah, I can't wait that long. No,
Yeah,
no, no,
so
no.
Trade number 2 is actually gonna be out this year.
Okay.
Um,
That was my next
'Cause it's
question.
5, 6, 7, and 8, and this is issue 8 we're producing on this campaign. So, it'll be out
Awesome.
this year.
Perfect. So later this year. Are
Yeah.
you gonna do 9 this year as well?
I might. It just all depends on how it all shakes down. My artist has been super busy, so we gotta look at his schedule, my schedule, we gotta make sure it all works out. And then, of course, how the trade goes because I always you have the best laid plans, and they always crash and burn, and it's usually in the printing process where things crash and burn, and it's like, "I should have these this month," and then it's another month, and then it's another month. And then it pushes your Kickstarter for issue 9 into, like, December, and then it's like, I probably shouldn't run a Kickstarter in December." So then we're looking at the next year. So the hope is September to run the campaign for number 9, but, mm, life happens.
It's
It has happened.
especially being my first Kickstarter,
Yes.
one of my rules that I made myself was I'm not going to launch the Kickstarter until I have the copies in my hand. Because the last thing I wanted was a production issue,
Yeah.
and then get a bad rap, "Oh, well, you know,
Um
he can talk, but he can't deliver," right?
You know what, though? People, are pretty understanding
They
as
are.
long as you communicate and you're
Communicate.
honest. My issue number 2, the printer disappeared. It's like things went to production, and he had printed all the covers, and then we didn't know what happened to him. And, like, 2 months went by, and I was like, "I don't know if he's just gonna show up and then print the rest and tell me I owe him, or should I order from somewhere else and just fulfill and tell him to go well?" Like, I don't know when he's gonna come back. What if he comes back tomorrow and he's like, "Books are in the mail," and I'm like, I had just paid for an order that's, in production for another month and a half. Sticky situations happen, but as long as you communicate and then eventually you follow through, people will still follow.
Yeah,
I'm here.
I agree.
That was issue 2, we crashed and burned. God, that
Hey,
was
you're
rough,
still here. Now you're
and
on
I'm
8.
still here, right?
Fully
So,
funded 8.
fully funded, yeah, in 12 hours too, that was
That's
nuts.
so awesome. Congratulations. I know I already
Thank
said
you.
it, but we're
Thank you.
actually recording now. Well, we were thinking we were recording then too, but this'll make the episode.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that was just one of my big sticklers, like, because I'm doing it regardless, right? Like, I'm
Right.
printing this, I'm doing it, I'm going through the whole process because I wanted to learn the process of doing it, and, the Kickstarter is just gonna be, like, the added bonus launch for it, right, to me.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it really small, like a $500 goal or something,
Mhm.
it's just something small just to get started, and then, of course, sell them on my website and conventions, like we talked about conventions, going to all those. How many conventions do you do a year?
It ranges, it depends. I get invited to some, I'm trying to go further out this year. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I usually do about 6 to 8, depending on my schedule. My kids' schedule is pretty busy this spring, so I didn't really schedule any. I have Texoma in February. Shoot, no, I am busy this spring, and then I'm going to Mockingbird Lane in San Antonio, which is like
Ooh,
4.5 hours.
yeah.
So that's supposed to be a big one.
When
I'm
is
going
that?
That's the end of March. I wanna say 27th, 28th, 29th of March. Um, that's a big con. There's going to Big Texas in the summertime, that's another good one. I could that one's gonna be a blast. All my buds are gonna be there. And I think that's June. I'm going to Texas Haunters in July. I usually try to do, like, a library con. There's another one in There's NTX, I haven't booked those yet, those don't typically fill up, and they're pretty local, so that's the one I use to, like, fill in the blanks. Um, and so I go with my comic books and my merch and my hot sauce, and I can do that with all the ones in Texas, and that's a blast. So,
Big
mm,
Tex, where is that one at?
it's also San Antonio. Mhm. So I'm gonna be driving this year.
Yeah, 'cause that's south of you, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
4.5 hours south. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. I might have to look into that one in June.
Big
I'm looking
Texas.
for one out there in June, so
Big Texas. I
that
know
might be the
they
one.
have to have stuff in Dallas area, which is less of a drive, since you're already coming in, but there's a ton of stuff.
I
Um,
don't mind driving.
no, you're good? Mhm.
Like literally in a month, I'm driving from here to DC,
That's right.
which is about 5 hours, and then it's 12 hours from there to Traverse City, Michigan, to get my comic printed.
It's in Traverse City? You
Traverse
didn't
City,
say that.
Michigan.
That's like the entirety of Michigan.
Yeah,
Good
that's way
job.
up there, just south of Mackinac Island. But um, I might go up there too. I don't know. I have another friend
Oh,
that lives in Mackinac, so
you should go. It's beautiful
um,
there.
I'll probably wait to do that in the summer though,
Yes.
because we're going back to Traverse City Memorial Day weekend
It's
for their.
cold and nasty in Michigan. I
I don't
I I was born and raised in Michigan, by the way,
really.
so yeah.
What part?
Outside of Detroit, I grew up in, like, Farmington Hills area. My husband and I got married, and we lived in Northville. We went to California and moved back, and then, we got relocated from Northville down to Texas in 2019. So,
Okay,
mhm.
that ain't bad.
Yeah, I love
Texas
it
is
here. I love it.
really.
I love it. I
My
hate
buddy
the
who
winter.
just moved there says he loves it there. He says it's pretty awesome.
I hate the winter. I hate it. Um, Tech where we are north of Dallas, we get, like, 1 week of winter. It's cold. I wouldn't call it winter just because it's cold, though. Like, we don't get snow, we don't get
Right.
ice, we got sleet for a few days, and they just cancel everything, and then it warms up. So it's like you get winter for a week, and then it's 80. There's nothing to dislike about that. I don't have to defrost my car and clean and bring extra boots and pack nah, nah.
No,
Texas.
no,
Gotta love it.
Texas.
Mhm.
I'll keep that in mind. I might end up there one day,
Hey.
between Oklahoma or Texas. We'll see.
Mhm.
My family's in Oklahoma City, so that
Yeah,
area.
gotcha.
So I go out there. We try to go out once a year. So we spent about 3 weeks out there last summer. Um, but so that's why I'm looking for one in June out that way
Yeah.
that I can do. Bring the show on the road. Like you said, you got to travel. You got to market. What other marketing things have you done?
Oh,
Oh, all right.
it's
I got my
funny.
coffee. Go ahead. I'll
I
mute for a while. No,
I can't
go
talk
ahead.
about it because 'cause I'll tell you after the show because I actually just won an
Okay.
award for creative marketing, but, it's funny. It hasn't happened yet.
Do I need to remove that?
We'll talk about it later. I didn't say where I won it from, so
Okay.
it's coming. But I just like I said, you have to do all of the things. And it's good to do all the things for your own
Mhm.
sanity because you can post on social media, but the algorithm is not working with you. And there's only so far you can get with your audience, unless people are actively sharing or you're like this, or you're going to a different market, you have to talk to different podcasters. So social media and podcasting is one way. Going to Comic Cons, because again, those people do not overlap. A lot of times I find at Comic Cons, and even where I'm like, hey, this, that, and the other, and look at this series, and we're live on Kickstarter right now. And someone's like, what's Kickstarter? And
Right?
I'm
Isn't that
like,
funny?
wow. So they don't overlap. So you want to go to like book signings so you can talk to comic book shops and libraries and you can set up there. It's all of that. I love doing silly reels. Like, I don't know if you've seen my TikToks. I'm silly. I dance around in a bear suit, smash watermelons in a onesie, as part of my stretch goals. Yep.
Saw that. That was pretty clever.
That's a valid stretch goal that we hit pretty consistently on my Kickstarters, and it's like the people get to vote on a name for the fruit or vegetable, and then they get to vote on the weapon of destruction, and I take write-ins. So, we've gotten some pretty funny situations out of that. So but yeah, just like interacting with, your readers or your fans. I do polls. I have a group for Path of the Pale Rider, and so I ask them for input. They have named characters in the book. Our little undead puppy, sorry guys, his name is Sad Pancake. The fans named him that. You know what I mean? So they have a fun time. We just named an undead pig Kevin Bacon. So absolutely, you just have to kind of think outside the box, do things that you like. My fans are foodies, so a lot of times I have, food-related items. Of course, I am certified food handler in cottage law, so just make sure you follow your state laws when you go to do something like that, but absolutely, think outside the box. Mhm.
Just don't get attached to those
Don't get
animals.
attached to anything in my comic. I'm Laurie R. Martin, Calcaterra.
That's great.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. You you killing me with that. You did the horse.
It's not just okay, so last campaign, issue number 7, um, the banner had a like, it's the Old West, right? So you see, like, the wooden cross sticking out of the desert with cactus in the back, and it said Jude St. Clair on it, which is, of course, my protagonist's name, and then I had a quote that said, "Eventually, all good luck runs out." People were like, "What are you doing?" Because I know we haven't explained how Path of the Pale Rider works, but in this world, death is broken, and so my protagonist could die and still continue in the story, and so people are like, "Is she killing him?" So I even ran a poll to see, like, "What do you think? Is he gonna die? 50-50? We'll see." So, I mean, like, just nobody is safe.
Nobody's safe.
Mm-mm.
So that's your marketing. So your first Kickstarter, how did it do?
Um,
It What was your goal and how did it do?
so my goal has not changed from campaign
Okay,
to campaign. I, like I said, knew nothing when I
right.
got here, and, so my goal as a first-time creator, creator was 4,550, which is insane.
What made you choose 4550?
I ran a budget. I
Okay.
had, an
So that's
artist
what it came
involved.
out to.
It was
Okay.
Marco DeFeo. I kinda so his page rate, what I figured I would be printing, any kind of merch, um, it just all I threw it all in there, and that's the number I came up with. It was years ago, so I mean, I'm sure there was some madness to my thinking, but, like, I wasn't part of the community, and so I didn't know that that number was insane to run as a first
That's
campaign.
yeah.
It's
I'd be
not
scared to death.
yeah, and I was just like, "Well, we'll make it or we won't," and I don't really know. And so the very best thing that I did was hire Jeff Haas, our mutual friend, because I was like, "I don't know how to market this thing and get it out there." I had been Okay, so with my journey, I had started Path of the Pale Rider back in 2020, like production. I had an artist team involved. We had started producing pages, and I knew that I wanted to run a Kickstarter, so I was investing in like the preview pages that would go up on the Kickstarter because I wanted to fund the rest of the comic. And then that was January of 2020, and of course, COVID hit shortly after, and then everything fell apart, right? And so I had already built like the Facebook group and the website, and I was invested, and then it all fell apart. So for 2 years, um I was building that audience, but I was also patiently waiting to find the artist that would fit. Instead of jumping in and just hiring anybody, I was like, "Listen, if it's supposed to happen, I will find the right person." And that person at that time was Marco DeFeo. So that's how we got to that number. And so with Jeff, went just threw everything against the wall. He was like, "How many podcasts do you wanna go on?" I said, "How many does it take to be successful?" He's like, "Well, that's different for everybody." I was like, "Just schedule them all." I was like, "Just schedule them all." Right? And so I did, I wanna say 34 podcasts in
Awesome.
30 days. So, I we hit funding on day 28 of a 30-day campaign, but it was f I think we ended up over 5,000 on that very first campaign. And so after that campaign, now I'm like, people in the community are welcoming me with open arms because I'm just that great. I don't know. I have a personality, right? And so now that I'm in there and I'm looking at my first campaign, what I did, I was like, I have no idea. Well, I do. I worked my ass off. That's what happened.
Right.
I worked my
100%.
absolute ever living butt
It was
off.
better not to know.
Exactly. Because I don't know. I don't know. I pushed really hard to get to where we were, and we
Right.
made it, and I worked really hard to do that, but looking back at it, I was just like, "That's crazy."
Did you have artwork done
Yeah, yeah,
already before you launched the Kickstarter?
yeah,
So
so
you'd
I
already paid the artist for the artwork.
correct. So I invested in 8 pages, and so we actually showed the scene. It wasn't the first 4 pages, which I use now, of the book. I did the 8 pages in the center of the book that leads up to the big James chase, the bear chase. And so I let people see, like, the world and, like, Jude St. Clair and his horse Prince, and then up to the point where, the bear stands up. You know what I mean? And then that's where I cut it, where I was just like, "Look, you have to read the comic to see what happens next."
Right.
And that was the right thing to do because that's the most exciting point in that, in the book. It's all informative and there's a lot of stuff that happens, but that bear chase is like the epitome of what Path is. It really is.
That was a really good chase scene
Yeah.
until the end. I'll cry later.
Well, I
Uh,
mean, we can discuss the plot and what I was
sh
doing,
Go
right?
ahead. Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
okay.
Do
So
it.
first of all, let me go back. So, Path of the Pale Rider is a world where death is
There we go.
broken, right? So, your body can die, but your soul does not leave your body upon death, meaning you get to hang out and enjoy your own decay phase. So, we don't have flesh eating zombies. It's not that kind of book. It's the people that are rotting in their own body and losing their humanity. They're losing their memories. They become violent, vegetative. It's like dementia and fast forward also with the body horror aspect of it. And since it is death that is broken, it's people, animals, insects, and fish. There is no death. There's no bullet to the brain. There is no out, which I think is terrifying.
That is terrifying.
So, what do we eat? You know what I mean? Like this whole world when you start thinking about it, it's like, oh, maybe, we can't eat animals anymore because well, you can, but they still move while you're eating them. And I don't want that hamburger. Nah, and I mean, like, it's not just when you eat it, it's the whole way through, you're feeling this thing move. So, no, right? So it's like, all right, well, what are we gonna eat? Maybe we'll all be vegetarians. It's like, well, if insects, pesticides don't work and they're dumb and they only do like 2 things, right? They eat, poop, and procreate. That's it. And so they would continue to eat in my mind. And so now we have bugs eating crops and you can't stop them. Um, food is scarce. We have this ever-growing population of vulnerable and chaotic people because maybe they're okay one day and the next day they're running people over with their car because they don't think it's a big deal, you know? Um, or they just forget to brake. It's like and it's kids can it's like, what do you do with that undead child? And then society, it's like the government does what they do best and they make it worse and they start setting rules and curfews and they create technology that everybody is forced to wear. It's a heart monitor, I call it a disc, and it's like it's touch activated and it will visually show you the heartbeat and it will blink green and it has a speaker so you can hear the lub dub lub dub. And then if you're undead and you activate it, it alarms and it turns red and it doesn't turn off. And so we have this technology, but of course, now we think about it, it's like people, what do people are really good at is hacking stuff. And so we're going to have undead out there with blinking green when they shouldn't, you know. Um, causing problems, and then the government maybe takes the next step forward, which is it's illegal to be undead in a living community, so they start segregating people. Where do they put all these people? Um, it gets really bad, and so that's kinda what you're getting yourself into in this world. So I have, like the first issue was so important when you're writing a series, especially a long-running one, because you have to communicate who that protagonist is, what their mission is, what the world is like. And, it's so hard to like really get them in that first exciting issue so that they continue to read. And so for me, it's like the stakes are high in this world. One wrong decision and you lose everything. And so that's Jude on this road with his horse that he has this like personal relationship. It's like the Witcher and Roach, you know? This is his lady. In fact, as they're going down this road, he gives her sneakers and he says, "Happy early birthday." And he gives her a present. He's getting his lady's shoes for her birthday, to muffle her hoof sounds so they don't wake up anything. Um, and gosh, it's just so devastating. It's his fault. He picked up this glass. He had little sleep because they were fighting wolves in the middle of the night. Um, she's tired too. So he haphazardly put it in the saddlebag and she trips and out it goes. It shatters into a million pieces and Big James stands up and that's it. You're done. Because how do you get away from an undead bear?
You
You
don't.
don't.
You don't. Well, he did. The horse didn't.
He's lucky. If he had not passed out, because he would have tried to
He would have
rescue.
tried to save. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Prince. And if he hadn't been knocked unconscious, he would have been dead. So, but if you think about it, she's still out there somewhere too. So we could see her again.
We could see her come back.
We could. She'd be nasty looking and she's pissed at Jude, but yeah, she'll come back.
What?
But yeah,
Not the bear?
oh, he's around too. He didn't
I'm
die.
talking about like the prince ain't mad at the bear.
Oh, I'm sure she is, but it's
Yeah.
Jude's fault. I mean, like,
Okay.
he owns it. Like, after he wakes up and then, like, all he has left of poor Prince is just this blood pool and her star. Did you see that in the road?
Was it the
Oh,
star? I thought it was her sneaker, but maybe I wasn't
that's
looking close enough.
that was her
Oh,
star from her
gotcha.
forehead floating in this pool of that's Marco right there. I'm like, "Marco, this is devastating." I'm like, "I didn't ri they're gonna come for me." And he was like, "Oh, yeah, they're coming for you." I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
not the
great."
artist who drew it, but you're the
Oh,
one that
I get blamed
created
all the
it.
time.
That's right. How did you find Marco?
On Facebook.
Okay.
It was in a group specifically for that. It was like, connecting comic book writers and artists.
There you go.
And so I had made a post and I was just like, "Hey, I'm writing this post-apocalyptic Western," which is crazy, "and I'm looking for an artist that wants to be involved, and I like, send me your portfolio and your page rate because it's of course, it's a paid deal." And, you get so many portfolios when you go that way. I think I got like 90, and I was like, "Oh my god." Marco's style is such a unique style where it's like half manga and also Western. It's its own thing, and it's beautiful. Having Marco for the first 4 issues was a joy, and then he got this is what happens with artists. They keep refining their craft, other people find them, they get offers and deals and books and he just got so busy again. It's hard as a creator because we have to do 2 books a year or that 18 years becomes 25 years, and I'm dead before we release my books. I know, spring chicken. So, that's what happened, and so he just got busy, um, and so I had to go find another artist, and that's how I found Gilbert. I met Gilbert Perez at a Comic-Con at Cowtown, so he came over to my table, and I was talking, he's like, "Oh, yeah, I've heard of you, like, Chris Hayes, the guy that runs the con, spoke very highly of your series," and I was like, "Oh, I love Chris, he's a great writer." So Gilbert and I meshed, and, Gilbert was like, "Hey, if you ever have, like, a variant cover that I can do, I would love to do something for Path." And I was like, "Well, I don't have any variant covers right now," 'cause I think we had just launched an issue on Kickstarter, so it's like, "I don't have any money, and I don't have it I'm not ready to do any variant covers, but how would you like to do a pinup?" And so he did a pinup of one of our characters, Lola, who's an undead bandita, and it's gorgeous. Like, it was one of those, like, not only did I pay him what he asked for, I sent him extra because I was like, this exceeds my expectations for what I thought I was paying for. So, have an extra, you know? And then when Marco, and I were going through the process where I was like, "I know he's so busy, I don't know if he can do another 4." I was like, "Okay, Gilbert, there might be a chance that Path is gonna open up. Is it something you're interested in?" And he was like, "Absolutely, absolutely." So,
Awesome.
that's how Gilbert has done 5, 6, 7, and 8. Mhm.
Perfect. Is he gonna do 9? Or we don't know yet?
He's getting real busy too, I don't know, we'll have
Yeah.
to have that conversation, but it's like 8 is once 8 is done, my focus is to get the trade paperback out, and then, of course, we'll have to look at scheduling, like I said, we'll see how busy he is. Maybe we push into next year, or I don't know, if he's so freaking busy, we'll see. We'll see. I never, people are always like, "How many campaigns and when are they?" And I'm like, "I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll
We'll
get it
figure it
done."
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll happen. I just I don't need to plan that far out because then it's just gonna fall apart anyway.
Right. True. That was an interesting thing that happened was
What?
after I finished the first book, which we just finished like today,
Yeah.
literally. Um, but a couple weeks ago, I was talking to my artist and I was like, we were kind of talking about doing another one. And I was like, yeah, I'm probably going to do a second one. Might as well just keep this train rolling, right? you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, you want to do it? And he's like, nope. I'm like, okay, well, then why are
No.
we having this conversation?
But I mean, artists are people too, and it's like,
No, but the reason was amazing. That's what I was
why?
getting at. So he's like, "You gave me my first professional gig." I was like,
Oh,
"Really?" He's like, "Yes." And and he's done his own books, for a while. Mike LG, Dork Art Comics. I don't know if you know who he is. Dork Art
no, he
Studios.
sounds fabulous.
He did several of his own books, and he's working on his own book again. But he did the artwork for this one. And he was like, I don't want to do it because I want to give somebody else their first shot at doing a
Uh,
book. And I was like, well, that's actually cool. I was like, that's a cool idea. And if I can pull that off, to where we can just like kind of pass the torch to,
that's cool. And what's
you know,
cool about that is that since all of your stuff is in the same universe, but since it's a one shot, it's
exactly.
not an issue. You know what I
Right.
mean? Where that would work for yours. See, with mine, it's like, especially with how we're producing it, because every 4 issues is a trade paperback. I need
You
that
want it to
artist
look,
for
yeah,
4. It has to be for 4. So when they sign contracts with me, it's for 4 issues. And so would I love to have Gilbert for 9, 10, 11, 12? Abso-freaking-lutely. But I don't know what his schedule looks like either because
right.
he's a human being too. So he might wanna do 9, but he might look into his next year and be like, "But I won't be able to do 10 or 11." And then, unfortunately, I'll have to start looking. But I would love to have Gilbert for as long
That
as I
would be
could.
cool.
If we could if money was not a thing, we would just sit and continue Path, and he could go all the way through 36, and I would die happy, you know? But,
If money wasn't a thing,
like, I
that's
could
the
pay
hard
him, like,
part.
$1,000,000, and he didn't have to do, like, a real
Anything.
job,
Right.
you know what I mean? And, of course, he's married, and he's got a life, he's got family, so, I mean, it's not I can't duct tape him to a chair and be like, "Do Path, and I'll feed
I
you
mean,
Rice Krispie Treats."
we
Huh?
can. Where it's not, it's frowned
I
upon,
would
but we
never
could.
do that to Gilbert. Let's just put it that way. I don't think you can live off of Rice Krispie Treats anyway.
Yeah, no, I couldn't either. But I thought that was a really cool thing. Like, he wants to
Yeah.
like pass the torch, and like hopefully this artist who, they're doing a cover, right, for this
Yeah.
book. So what better way to introduce to do the next book is doing a cover for this
I
book.
was gonna say, your original artist can always do variants
Oh yeah,
or
100% he will for the
yeah,
rest. And
exactly. He could still be
yep,
involved in
he's
any
still
of
going to
it.
be involved and all that, which is going to be amazing. But I just thought it was cool to like kind of pass that torch and give
Yeah.
somebody else an opportunity for a paid gig. And then if they can pass it on or if they want to continue on for a while, who knows?
Yeah.
At this rate, with the way it's going, I'm going to do at least one a year. That's my goal at the moment
Mhm.
is just do one. I mean, maybe technically this one was for last year.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe do another one this year because it's still early in the year, but we'll see.
You'll find your rhythm and your flow, and it'll all come it'll become more precise for you. It's just the longer you do it, the better you'll get at it. It just depends on what you wanna do. But that's what's so great about indie comics is that everybody can work on their own pace. There isn't, um, this big manager that's like, "Your deadline is 3 weeks ago. Where are you?" You're not making us any money." It's just at your own pace. And, the fans, the readers are really supportive of that because if they wanna support you, they will wait as long as they need to in order to get that book in their hands, so
So what's your number one piece of advice for people like me going to run a Kickstarter?
do research, do a lot of it, and don't just jump into launch, um, because there is planning, and if you plan accordingly, you will be successful. You will take the guesswork out of it. So, just research other campaigns that are similar to yours. Research marketing. Give yourself time. to build that buzz and to build that following before you hit launch. You want a stellar day one because that momentum will carry your campaign. You want to have a strategy of how you're going to promote it for the entire campaign. And
Not
it's
just the
work,
first day.
not just the first day. And it's like, just get it in your head that it's work and it's a job. It's 100% work. So it's not push the button and Kickstarter people will find me. They won't. There's 200 campaigns that are alive today. So what are you doing to stand out? That's my
What
advice.
am I doing? What am I doing? Now you're questioning me.
Yeah,
I
what are
made a
you
cool reel today with all my covers and posted it.
That's good.
Yeah,
How
so
long is your campaign? You need 28 more of those.
yeah, no, I've got a bunch and I'll do a bunch more.
Good.
Yeah, I need a lot. But I'm not launching until next month. So
Oh, yeah, so you
I'll have
got
to do
time.
it all over again.
Well, and that's it. It's just you have a plan, um, and take time putting it together and give yourself time. I always recommend doing a live launch. A lot of people were tuned into our live launch yesterday.
I saw that, I
Yeah.
missed it. What was I doing? I don't remember what I was doing, but I couldn't make it to your live launch, and I was like, "Wait, she's doing this live? This is awesome."
Yeah, because it lets people okay, so I usually start, I would say 3 months before I plan to launch. I am booking podcasts for the time period where I'm going to be live. Podcasts fill up quick. I know yours fills up, mine fills up. My podcast is booked out to September of this year. So if you wanna be on my show, better get in there before
Uh,
it's
I'm
2027.
on May, I think.
Yeah,
I'm booked for May
you're
12th,
booked,
I
yeah.
think. Yeah. I'll have to book now for my next book. I don't
For
know when it's
real.
gonna be though.
It's crazy. So, but think
It
about
is
that.
crazy how that
So you
works.
wanna book those podcasts early, you wanna plan out your social media, you wanna pick a launch day and then promote that launch day, and have a reason for people to show up on that day one, whether it's early bird, offer something special for the first day or week, a discount for day one, special items. I like doing exclusive items. Like I rebind books, and so I will rebind a book and make it available on the campaign, but just one. I make mugs. I collect hobbies like it's going out of style. So I
I
make
love
mugs.
your miniature book idea. I was sitting here trying to
Yeah.
make one on my desk the other day.
So and that's part of it too, I'll get to that. So, have things on the campaign that people will want to be there on day 1. I had these blankets that were the hot one, those were the hot item, that and this mug that I did. But people were like the knives came out for these blankets, um, so that they wanna be there, so they want to watch the live stream, so they can watch you push the button and be ready to grab those items, right?
Ooh, okay.
So that's part of the plan. And then the pre-launch. So when you're building a campaign, it doesn't have to be finished before you ask for approval.
Right.
So as long as you have like your banking info and your story has things and you have a few rewards, a thumbnail picture, ask them to approve it because all that time that you're in pre-launch, you can have people signing up to follow. And all that is that they all get an email the day that you launch. And so that is super important for your first campaign. Okay. After your first campaign, the people that have backed you, they get an email anyway. Back another Kickstarter by AJ because you love him, you know? So anytime like I get so many emails from Kickstarter, it's stupid, right? Because I back a lot of
'Cause you
people. So
back a
they're
lot
like,
of stuff.
back Chris Saloff and back Jeff Haas and back all these guys that are just prolific in the indie scene. So anytime they launch something, I get an email, right? But that first campaign, you don't have a footprint yet, right? So all those people are alerted right away when you launch so they can trickle in and support your campaign. And so that's what I did this time is I made these little tiny mini
There
books
they are.
going the wrong way. Yeah, and so this was an incentive to sign up for pre-launch. And so my goal was to have 100 pre-launch signups, and if we met that goal, then all the physical backers get one of these for free, which is cool. So it's a way to get free stuff and
I don't know if I'll make a bunch, but I'm gonna at least make a couple, and you're gonna get one. So of my book,
ooh, I'm
a mini
excited.
one of my book. I was gonna send
You
it
know
to
how to
you.
make the mini books? Let's do it.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
why
love the
not?
anxiety bookshelf. Did you see?
I've been
You
following
got one?
all of your videos on the bookshelf. I love the bookshelf.
I love it. I love those. I love
I was in a mall because we went and saw Stephanie Williams yesterday at a
yeah.
mall, and she was at a comic shop at a mall up here, and there was a store there that sold mini bookshelves, and I almost bought one because of you. I didn't buy it yesterday, but
I love these
almost.
things,
There
you know?
almost was a mini bookshelf over on my shelves back here.
Amazing.
I might have to do it now
I'm
and make
like,
my
I
own.
have the cult of the anxiety bookshelf and the cult of the fresh milled flour that I'm actively recruiting members for these cults.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I love it, and I was like, well, I'm definitely gonna do a mini book, at least a couple, because I think
Yes.
my daughter would love making them.
Now, would you like me to add your book to my list?
Sure.
Because
Which list? Your indie list?
well, I'm making an indie bookshelf, this is my goal, and I need 60 covers. So, what I'm
Yeah.
doing is there's a mini bookshelf, it's $10 on Amazon, and it comes with 60 books, which is perfect because when I print these covers onto the sticker paper, there's 60 covers that go on a page. And so, I'm gonna make
So it
my
already comes with
own.
the mini books, and you're just
The
gonna
bookshelf
recover
comes
them.
with the mini books, and then because I was cutting my own, I have a bunch of, like, foam core that's the right size, but as I was cutting it, it's, like, ever so slightly off, right? If it's not precise, like, my OCD kicks in, I'm like, "It doesn't look right." So, I
Well,
would
the
prefer
video
just
I
to
watched, they did, like, stacks of sheets of paper and,
oh,
like, folded it and then, like, Z folded it
see, because these ones are
and
just
then
they're
Mod Podged it.
go this way,
Is that just foam core?
it's just
Is
foam
that all?
core. These are the ones that come
That's
with the
smart.
shelf, and then
And then you just put the thing on. Oh, that's so much
they're so
easier. Yeah,
tiny, I
why aren't
drop
we doing that?
yeah, so I just
Yeah,
put
that's
it
so much
so it
easier.
just covers it, and so I use their books. I don't have to
Sure,
spend
I'd
time
love it.
cutting
Do
it.
you want what cover you want? A, B, C, D, E?
Just
All of them?
I don't want too many for the same book.
No,
People
I know.
freak out, but I'm working up to 60 so I can have and this is
Yeah,
great too because when if people, if I send these to people, it's basically I'm recommending all the books that are on the shelf.
yeah. I'll
So they
send
can
you a
go through
copy.
them and be like, "What's this book?" And then they go look it up and they find you and they read your comic. That's the goal.
Yeah, I don't know, I might give you my cover. We'll see. See, that's my cover. That's not the complete that was the first draft. The blue is
Yeah,
gonna be darker. I changed the dude a little bit, stretched him out a little bit. That's the B cover. Mike did the A cover. So I'll send you one of those 2 covers,
cool.
wraparound covers with
Nice.
the full thing.
That's what I need.
I'll send you the full PDF too so you can read it. Um,
Hey, I'm excited for that.
Stephanie Williams asked me for my book yesterday. I was like, "Yeah, I wrote mine, it's done. We're gonna start doing conventions. We're gonna be at a couple together." Because she lives in Charlotte, which is like 3 hours from us. So all the conventions in North Carolina, she's gonna
Yeah.
most likely be at.
Yeah, they'll just be like, "Come for free. You could set up
Yeah.
this table."
So it's cool because she's like, "Oh yeah, we were talking." She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be at it's like I'll be at that one. I'm getting a booth at that one." She's like, "Oh, cool. Well, I'll see you there." I'm like, I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I finished my book," and she's like, "Oh, send me a copy. You got my email, so send it to me." I'm like, "Oh, okay, sure."
I know sometimes you're like, should I?"
I don't want to
Like,
send you my book, but whatever.
I know, that's where I'm like, then you're like, what you call it, kicks in. The imposter syndrome is like, "I don't know if I want
Oh,
to
I got
read
yelled at for that one last week with
it's
one of my
okay."
videos. I don't know if you saw it when I had Kate Wendell's on.
Yeah.
She did the Kickstarter. She's doing that Invader one,
Mhm.
The Devil in the Herd. It's
Yeah.
really good. I read, well, first half of it. It's all she sent me. It's really good. I think you'd love it. But she was like, she told me to shut up, and I have something coming out and I just need to shut up and not worry about it. I'm like, okay,
Imposter
thanks.
syndrome is a liar. We'll just put it that way.
Right.
And we all have it. So doesn't matter who you are. We're all like, I'm not good at this. And if I let people see that I'm not good at this, they might reject me. It's not going to
I
happen.
don't care.
It's a lie.
It is. I was just weird that she's like, send it to me. I'm like, Like, I didn't ask her, like, "Hey,
Yeah.
can I send you my book?" She was like
Yeah.
she asked me, she's like,
That's
"Oh,
awesome.
is it done?" She's like, "Do you have a PDF of it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
had a PDF yesterday with missing one cover in the back gallery page." I was like, "Yeah, I can send you a PDF." And, she's like, "Well, send it to me." So I go, "Okay." So last night I emailed it. She hasn't responded, so
Yes.
she must not
I
have liked
know.
it. No, I'm just
No, that's
kidding.
not true. Don't say that. Ah, here we go.
That's that imposter
I
syndrome
know, but I
kicking in.
think this is part of, being an indie creator too, is that we crave that feedback, and
Right.
sometimes people might read it and enjoy it, and it's like, "Oh, I gotta cook dinner," and they're
They
just off
don't
and
yeah.
doing their life, you know what I mean? And it's like that I'm that way too, you know, like, I sent out issue 7 PDFs, and I was like, "Oh, it's such a big thing," and, "Oh my god, everybody's waiting to see if Jude lives or dies," and it was like crickets, and I was just like, are people even reading this? Like, nobody and then one person was like, "Laurie Calcaterra, I am blown away. You know, like, this is what I'm seeing. These are the cool things, and oh my god, and what's this QR code, and what are you" and that one person saved my sanity, you know what I mean? It's just that little bit of feedback. So if you guys are if you're watching this and you are reading indie creators, if you take 2 seconds to tell them how wonderful their book is, it will change our lives. Just gonna say that.
100%. 100%. I can't argue with that at all. Because I say I don't care, but I
But you do.
do.
Don't lie.
Because
We
I sent
know.
it I
We're
think I
all that
sent
way.
it I even sent it to my brother, and he just gave me a thumbs up. I'm like, "Really, dude? That's it? That's all I get is a thumbs up? Come on."
Really, come on, gonna go
Yeah, I mean, he's 20 years older than me, so he's I don't even know
Yeah.
if he remembers how to read, but and
But,
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
share this with him.
this is the thing, though. Our friends and family may not understand this weird obsession that we have. If they're not part of this world, they don't understand, you know what I mean? They really
Right.
don't. And so that's why it's so important. That first campaign that you run, you're gonna see a lot of friends and family that are your
I'm okay with
supporters.
that.
Huh?
I'll take their money. I'm
Yeah,
okay with
no,
that.
but that second campaign, they're out.
That's right.
They're like,
Really?
"I already gave at the bank."
Oh,
And then the realization a lot of times is they're like, "Oh, how often are you doing this? I'm gonna have to do this every time. I'm out." You know what I mean? So it's so
right,
important to find your audience because 'cause they're
right.
out there, they're looking for you, they just haven't found you yet. So don't be discouraged when the friends and family kinda pull back because they do, because they're just not they might not understand this weird obsession we have. They don't, and
They
that's
don't.
okay. But there's
I tell
people
my
out there.
mom that every day. Like, she's like, "What are you in there working on?" Like, "My comic book."
Stop.
Like, "The podcast."
Like,
I
"Do you
don't
wanna read it?"
understand any of that. Huh?
I was like, "Do you wanna read it?" And they're like, "No, I'm good." I'm like, "Alright, thank you.
Yeah.
I feel this
She's
way
like, "Just let me know when I can buy the buy the first
now."
issue. I'll give you
Oh.
$8 or $6 or
Aw.
whatever it is." Thanks, mom.
Thanks, mom.
Appreciate it. That's great. The mini books. You're gonna get a mini
Yes.
book.
Yes. Add to
Well, I
my
guess you're gonna
collection.
make them, but I was gonna send you one.
No, send me one. Send me a
Um,
different cover. You and I should make different covers.
oh,
Yes.
there you
There
go.
you go.
I'll give you cover A, and then I'll make my covers and send you 1 or 2 of those
There
just
you
to have
go.
on your own shelf, not the one you're doing. I love that idea.
There you go.
All right, go into the Easter eggs. You mentioned it earlier. Give me a couple. Just you don't have to give all of them. Give us a couple.
Okay.
What's your
So
favorite one?
inside the okay, so there's a few in the book, and I wanna talk about the back covers. Every single back cover of Path of the Pale Rider is a riddle.
Riddle.
Is a riddle.
Is the back cover of the page with the all the words and the skull, half skull, or that was the back cover, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's, red reveal. I just gave you how you solve that. You figure it out. Go look it up. Um, one of the things that I did inside the book is there's a lot of foreshadowing. Issues 4 and 5, there are riots happening where Jude St. Clair is. At one point, society is falling apart, but the humans, instead of the undead, the living, should I say, are still the majority. So you get to see a riot from the living majority, and then in issue 5, you get to see a riot where the undead are the majority. Okay. There is a character that's moving in the background of both of these riots. I don't tell you who he is until issue 13.
We
Okay.
got like a
We
2
gotta wait till
years.
however, once you understand who this character is and what he's capable of doing, both of those riots will have a completely different meaning
That's
because
some in-depth writing.
what you're seeing in issue 4 and 5 is Jude St. Clair's point of view, but once you know who this character is and what's motivating him, there is something completely different going on. That's what I love to do in my stories.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not at that level. Imposter syndrome, you can blame me, whatever.
Stop
I'm
it.
not at that level yet. I've been putting a lot of thought into this second script. The first one I wrote almost just to prove I could,
Yeah.
right? So Stephanie Phillips's videos on TikTok, right? Like, this is how I write a script, or I start with 1 through 20 on a piece of paper. I'm like, I can do that. So I did that. And then it was
Yeah.
like, all right, now I got to write the script. And I had like a plane trip to Seattle and back. So like
Perfect.
11 hours on a plane. So I
Yeah.
was like, well, there's where I'm going to use to write my script.
Heck
And I
yeah.
did. But now it's like, all right, I've done one. I did it to learn. I wanted to learn just to prove I could, I guess.
Yeah.
I've got a book that's done as of today. Like, it's going to be printed here in 20 some days. But now it's like the second script, I'm like, oh, I can go deeper. I can like work on it.
Yes.
So now it's just staring at me like, come on, you can do it.
That's awesome.
But I think it's
So,
going to be cool.
the thing for me is because I started so big, it was a full-length movie, right?
Right.
And now the way that I write, I'm a plotter, I'm not a pantser, and I use 3 by 5 cards, AJ.
Ooh,
So, I will plan out scenes when I'm just brainstorming, I'm like, "Oh, this is a cool idea," and, like, "How do we deal with this, and how does this work?" And I can rearrange things, which is what I love, because as I'm writing sometimes, I'm like, "Jude St. Clair is a gunfighter, what would that look like when people don't die?" Like, what would a gunfight in the old like, looks like the Old West, but it's future West, and what weapons are they using, and what method and then I'm like, "But what if" you know what I mean? I throw something else in there, and it's like, "But this would go better before instead of after." So that's what I love about the 3 by 5 cards is I rearrange stuff. And I'll go through it a few times and fine tune it before I even write anything on a page.
wow. Okay.
So so that's
And you
my
can
method.
that's pretty good. That's
Mhm.
similar to the 1 through 20 on a piece of paper because I
Oh, and
found myself rearranging that
mhm.
even. Like I moved a couple around, like, oh, I want this to happen first, or it
Right.
just kind of your back and forth kind of worked better by rearranging and stuff. And yeah, I enjoyed that.
But that also helps you plan, because again, I'm a plotter, not a pantser. I want the whole arc to have a beginning, middle, and end, right?
Right.
I want every 4 issues to have a beginning, middle, and end. And I want every issue to have a beginning, middle, and end. I hate fluff. I cut it all out. So everything is precise when I plot. You know what I mean? I feel
Right.
like sometimes pantsers get to this is just my own opinion. Pantsers can be very successful. I'm just not in that category. And this is my fear is that if I ever pantsed a arc, I would be like, I got to a point and I'm like, oh, I'm screwed. Jude St. Clair can't see himself out of that. And so that's why I spend so much time plotting and world building and what are the
Yeah.
rules and before I even sit down to write.
I am glad I didn't lock myself into 36 issues.
It's a process, it really is,
For sure.
but it's all a lot of it's all in my head. I've written out to 24, 25, 26, 26, and then I
Awesome.
know the ending. So, I'm pretty far out there. It's just like the 3rd arc okay, my 2nd arc is so crazy. So, these first 12, it's like, it's nuts. You'll see when you get in there. It's absolutely crazy, and then the 2nd arc is 100% more
Crazy.
crazy than the
Jesus.
1st arc, and it's like, "Oh, how is that even possible?" Oh, but it is, and so when I'm in the 3rd arc, I'm just like, "I need to be more crazy. It needs to be bigger." Like, I have this idea for where I'm at, but, like, the middle part, I'm really good at the beginning, where we start and how we end, but it's that middle part where I'm like, we need to be more exciting. We need more action. We need more big moments. We need some more twists. So that's where I'm at is in this middle part of the last arc where I'm just like, it's got to be bigger. I've been working on that.
I'm working on that. Yeah, I can see that. I'm
Yeah.
working on the one issue, and I think it doesn't scare me to do one issue, right, at a time.
Right.
And what I love about the world I'm building, because it's all based off my mascot, right? Panel
Mhm.
Pete, right? So he can be anywhere and any time and any place in any setting and any, you know. So the first one's just a modern day, about a boy getting bullied at school. Panel Pete kind of helps him, overcome being bullied, right? So it has a message too, right? Which I thought was really cool. Wasn't the original plan, but it's really cool that it has one. So now I'm like, well, all of them have to have a message now.
Yeah.
So that's okay. But my second one's going to be the origin story. They can still have a message, but it's going to be like a medieval type, wizards and dragons and, kind of story. So it's a
Cool.
medieval. It'll be like how he was created.
World is your oyster then.
Exactly. It's amazing because I love
Yes.
westerns, so I can have a western, you know?
More westerns, please.
So
More
that's going to be, that'll either be 3 or 4. The other one that I'm going to get TS to help me with because it was his idea. I had him on the pop-in show, like I was telling you, where they can come into the other, the show with Annika and I. And it was when I think it was like the final order cutoff for Digger that day. I
Yeah.
had him on, and we were talking about my comic and stuff, and he was like, "Yeah," he called him 10-cent Pete, and that was like, I don't know why, but that's just what he said. And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Your thing, Panel Pete." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And so then I just started thinking because I like Dick Tracy too. So,
Yes.
dude, I'm like, "All right,
Noir.
TS, you're gonna write a Dick Tracy type story, and the title of it's gonna be 10-cent Pete."
Black and white, like noir
Yeah.
style. Love it.
Yes. Oh, I might go black and white. That's a great
Yes.
idea.
It's like noir Spider-Man from the Into the Spider-Verse. Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, Neor.
Now I'm gonna read that comic and hear it in Nicolas Cage's voice.
But exactly like a 1940s, 50s,
Yeah.
like dime store detective kind of story,
10 feet. Perfect.
right? And so I'm gonna have TS write that, and
Genius.
maybe I'll draw it. I'm gonna work on drawing myself. We'll see. Do you do any
Ooh.
artwork yourself?
It's funny because that Bachelor of Fine Arts is there. I can draw.
Okay.
I just don't I cannot draw. I mean, like, let's be honest. Um, Sequential art is a skill.
Right.
And there's a thought and a planning that goes into it that I just don't have developed. So, at some point, I might do a variant cover. I will never do interior art. I have too much respect for my story.
Right.
No,
Have
I could
you
never.
so you've never done a cover either?
No, I've thought about it. I like to draw skulls, so I'll probably at some point draw a skull. There's one on my campaign I was tempted to do, but I was like, "No, I'm gonna hire somebody." So that Jared Lockhart cover is my idea that I asked him to execute, and it's gorgeous. Of course, I want it tattooed on my flesh at some point, like, I need that, but
Yeah, I'm waiting to see how long it'll be before I put Panel
mhm,
Pete as a tattoo.
100%. It's gonna be
I've
on
gotta
there.
get my youngest daughter's name the only tattoo I have is my oldest daughter's name on my arm, and I have to get my youngest ones first, so
You could have, Pete with a speech bubble talking to Annika.
could. Might have to tie the 2 together.
That's what I'm saying.
Annika would love that. She would eat that up. But I did one so I had to do the cover. I had to
Uh,
do a cover. What?
you should
You just
have Pete holding a magazine that's a Harley Quinn magazine saying, "I got this one just for you, Annika," or something like that, like, Harley Quinn's the one you wanted, right? So there you go, you could tie it all together, her love of comics, Harley Quinn covers, your panel Pete, all in
My
one
god.
tattoo.
That tattoo just went from $50 to, like,
Sorry.
$500.
I don't know if you know Fish Lee, so you know. We muse together and we are the biggest enablers, so I will be like,
Mm,
"This is what you need."
right, you
Come
can
up with
enable,
this,
that's
like
fine. I'm down with that. Just to be in this community and as welcoming as it has been to me and Annika has been amazing. Uh,
love this community, it's
it's amazing.
great. Mhm.
Everybody gets along, I don't know.
Mm, maybe
Well,
not
not
every
everybody, but
there's
99%.
Right.
It's pretty good.
There's the human
There's
element
drama and
there.
everything,
Right, if
right?
there's humans involved, there's drama, but for the most part, I would say everybody is wonderful. Everybody there's very little gatekeeping, like, everybody is
Right.
welcome to help build ideas and you know what I mean? There's some communities that are just like, "This is mine, and this is I'm successful, but I'm not gonna tell you how." And I'm just
Right.
like, "Hey, man, you gotta do some marketing, and here's how you do it."
Right. That's the thing, like, we all wanna see each other succeed.
Yes.
None of us are trying to hold anybody back or
Oh.
and that's what I
It's
love about it.
It's a comic book. It's not a huge investment, so my fans can back my campaign and back your campaign and back
Right.
Fish and TS and Chris Saloff, and it's like you can afford to do that because our
You can
product
afford
is
$8,
yeah,
$7, whatever they
yeah.
are for the
So we
entry
are not
level tiers.
competition. We are
Right.
cooperation.
And I loved and I saw it on yours I think I saw it on Jeff's first, and I saw it on yours was the indie bundle you did. That
Yeah.
was really cool.
I
So,
love that. We just broke that today. So, first stretch goal I always do is this indie PDF bundle. There's actually 16. I think I only put 15 on the bike. I was like,
really?
wait a minute, I got another one. But I love it because so for people that are unfamiliar with Kickstarter, a lot of times we have physical backers and we have digital backers. So, it's a smaller dollar amount, so it's less commitment, or that digital reward is great for people that are overseas, who wanna read the comic and maybe can't afford the $45 shipping on a $10 book. Like, it's ridiculous, right? So, they opt for that, and they can still follow the story and contribute to the campaign. So this indie PDF bundle, everybody can get. Everybody, physical and digital, can participate in this. And not only that, all these indie creators love to give their issue ones away for free. I do. So you can read issue one for free, and that way you can decide if you like Path of the Pale Rider. And, like AJ read it for the first time, and now he's like, well, I'm going to have to get the rest of them. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's how it works. So
That is how it works.
you could be on Jeff's campaign, right? Unlock this stretch goal. You get these 16 new PDFs and be like, "Oh my god, there is ink." This guy that has tattoos that he can turn into things like his army for real. There's A Mother's Whisper, which is this really warped Chris Hayes book. Psycho Sal, which I helped write from William Russell. They're all
Awesome.
in there. And so you might find your next favorite read because of Jeff's campaign. You might find Path because of Rolling Squid Bones campaign, you know what I mean? And so we love doing this and just everybody wins. So 100% I love doing that.
That is yeah, that's amazing. You gotta be able to find it to see it
Exactly.
and
When
back
you
it.
run your campaign, I will happily throw in PDF of Path for free for every
Yeah, I need to add that. I was thinking about that when I saw Jeff do it and you do it. I'm like, "Well, is that some" I didn't know
Yes,
if I was big enough yet to do that.
100% you are. And
Okay.
all you have to do, AJ, is just ask. Just
Yeah,
make a social
100%.
media post. Just be like, "Hey, I'm looking to put together a PDF, stretch goal. Who wants to contribute their PDFs?" And you will have a line of people out
It's
the door.
probably my imposter syndrome, but
Probably. Liar.
well, no, like, I've been thinking like, this morning, I spent a long time because I got the cover, so I've been updating, like, the PDF and this and that and,
Yeah.
everywhere it goes and made that reel, and I was like, "I gotta rebuild the Kickstarter, thing for the 3rd or 4th time." Um, to add all the covers and all that, but
And
I've been thinking I have my rewards, I love my reward tiers so far, because I'm gonna have, like, just a single issue PDF, then a sig print, and then, like, a collector's bundle with all the covers. We're actually gonna do a foil cover of this last cover too, but that'll be, like, limited to, like, 10. So I have a limited edition. I wanted to add that, taking the bits like
mhm,
you were saying earlier, you look at Kickstarter. Look at all these comic Kickstarters. Take a piece from each one of them, build your
right.
own,
See
right?
what's
See
successful,
what works, don't
right,
work,
see what doesn't
and
work. But ultimately, because 'cause you're gonna see there's so many different ways to run a campaign, and we're all different, right? The key is to look around and then to, know your own audience, because what works for Lori might not work for your audience.
right. Well,
So
and so that's part of my problem is I don't know my audience quite yet, right? Because we're new.
Oh, you need to do some poll,
Polls, that's a good one. All right, I'm putting that on this same piece of
right?
paper.
Because
I've got a separate note for this.
right, right. Ask your
Um,
people, "What kind of merch do you want?"
right. But I
Right?
was thinking about stretch goals too. It's like, I just want it funded, let alone a stretch goal. Like,
Yeah,
it's like I haven't even thought about stretch goals.
you got to.
I got to think about how I would add a stretch goal.
Now,
I
I've
just want
seen some
everybody to have
people
everything.
I mean, you could have them planned out and maybe not announce them. Like my friend Matt Knowles, has it's Satsumi right now that's live on Kickstarter. He doesn't announce his stretch goals until they break them. Like he'll have the dollar amount. So let's say,
And
yours
then
was
just
500,
hitting.
it'd be like 600, 700, 800, and it just has question marks. And so he'll as it unlocks, he'll tell people what it is. So that's kind of nice because you don't have to really announce anything.
Right. And
But
then
you
I
can
can
have
pick
a
and
plan.
choose.
Yeah. Me, I
Did
always announce
you
mine.
did you have one just for funding or no? It's got to be
Mm-mm.
something above funding, right?
Yeah, stretch goal is like
Right.
above.
Okay.
But also don't I always warn people about this too, especially people that are newer to running a Kickstarter. Don't always do merch,
Right.
expensive merch, because that extra funding, you could still use that towards printing and next campaign, getting a head start. And so don't like buy everybody a coffee mug with that stretch goal. As cool as it is, yeah, you shouldn't be spending the whole stretch goal on merch. Like you gotta plan for things. So like stickers and bookmarks and
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I want to do metal bookmarks. Maybe. I mean, I have one now on my website, but I use Printify, so you can get any of that kind of stuff through them, but it's so expensive. But if
Yeah.
it's when they're doing all the fulfillment and everything, I'm totally okay with that because I came from the world of doing everything myself. I used to print, I used to bind, I ran a publishing company where I printed and bound my own books and cut them, novels. And how we've come full circle 15 years later, 16 years later, that I'm actually writing a book. This is
Yeah.
like crazy.
Hilarious.
Um, but yes, but then I owned a game store for a while, so merch is my thing, right? Whole merch lines and creating all that stuff, and I turned that into a miniature game accessory company in the board game world. Miniature
Cool.
game used to travel for conventions for that and had booths at those. Used to create all the shirts and all the stuff at my
Yeah.
table.
Yeah.
So I have all that equipment, and I've
Well,
just gotten to
okay.
the point where I'm like, I want to slow down, let somebody else do all this hard work.
Yeah. I
you
mean, it's
know?
totally up to you. Like I do all my stuff too, but again, it's like, are you willing to pay the time or are you
Right.
willing to pay someone else
The
to do
money.
it for money?
And
And
that's
then
where I'm at.
it's
I'm
still
now
gonna
like,
cost you something.
it's gonna cost me something, right?
Mhm.
And with the way with all the time I put into the podcast, it's I think better for me just to buy the merch than try to make the merch, which I might make the
Absolutely.
bookmarks because I haven't liked the pricing I've found. You'll have to tell me when we're done where you've done metal bookmarks, haven't you?
Nope.
You
Have not.
haven't?
Mm-mm.
I don't like the pricing.
I mean, that's the thing is like it might be super cool, but if it's too expensive, does it make sense to have it as a stretch goal?
Yeah, I can make 'em myself a lot cheaper because I
Well, then
have the
there you go.
sublimation printer, I have the paper, I have the heat press, I have that. You can get the blanks. Like I have all the
Yeah.
and I can do it for like, a dollar a piece versus $6 a piece cost that I've found, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so PDF stretch goal. I'll make that
Mhm.
a stretch goal.
Yes.
Um, is Jeff's a stretch goal or is it actually just part of his campaign? I can't remember.
I don't know.
It could be
I
either
didn't
way.
look at I haven't actually been on his mallet campaign yet, but it's recommended off of mine. I just haven't had a chance. We just talked like yesterday about it, so I've been a little
I'll ask
busy.
him. I'm talking to him.
Like,
Yeah, yeah, you've
been
been
a little
killing it.
busy.
So go
We were talking about Jeff's so I've seen I usually just do the big bundle PDF because I
Yeah.
usually have my stretch goals are all planned out and I got a lot of things I wanted like to slice and dice and we do scratch and sniff stickers and I'm going to send out coffee beans and I made hot sauce hard candy. I beta tested that last campaign and it was a hit, so we're doing it
Ooh.
this campaign. So I have these things planned, but like other, if you don't, if you're not Laurie Calcaterra and you don't want to make hot sauce hard candy for people, I've seen people do like their stretch goal is I have 16, they'll make all 16 available at like every $50 or like every 50 backers. They'll go through them where like you get this, for free when the backer count goes up by 50. So it's part of that too. I do poker cards as my backer count stretch goal too. And I highly recommend coming up with something like that. Pops Van Zant, who's the producer on our Madness Network, that was his idea. And so we have this ongoing stretch goal, which is a deck of poker cards. And so every campaign, every 50 backers, we build another card to the deck. And so that encourages people to not only come to the campaign, but to keep coming to the campaign, right?
They get the extra cards.
Well, they don't want to miss out on
Yeah,
any.
you don't wanna miss out on it. Can't be have a deck with missing cards.
Right. Well, I make it available in the add-ons. Like you can add on the cards that you missed for like $1, right? They're not super expensive because I want people to have the completed deck. But how awesome is it? Like the people that have been coming every time will have a completely custom Path of the Pale Rider deck for free just by coming up
Just
and
by showing up,
showing up.
and you can do catch up. Now, so how many are you releasing per campaign?
It depends on how many backers we get.
Oh, okay.
Right? So every 50 backers. So we've been so close. I usually have about 120 to 140 backers.
Right?
And last campaign, I think we ended at 142. So it's like we were
You
8
missed 8
short.
from the
So I'm
3rd
always
card.
tempted to release that third card, but I haven't yet. So maybe this
Good for you.
campaign we'll get to 150. I gotta stick to my guns. Otherwise,
Exactly.
it's hard.
So, they get 8 campaigns. How
No,
many
we didn't
cards
start
have
doing it until I think
Oh,
the 3rd campaign, so we've unlocked 11 cards
11
in
cards,
the
okay.
previous campaigns, and so we unlocked 1 on this one, so we have total of 12. We'll unlock at least 1 more card this campaign, so we'll have 13. Lucky
Okay,
number 13,
I like
maybe
that.
14.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, and then I saw you had a box where you could put them in.
That's new.
That's new, right?
Yeah, so when people are, because now we're at the point where we have enough stuff that people are losing it. So, like, last campaign, my sister, who's been backing since, the beginning, because she is loyal to not everybody is, but she is very loyal, um, and she ordered all the poker cards, and I was like, "You have all these?" And she was like, "I
I
do."
don't know where.
She was like, "Where are they?" And I was like, "They come in every issue." And she was just like, "Oh, well, I don't know if I have them all still." Exactly, so now I'm like, "Alright, we need a box so people can put them in for safekeeping," and, like, friends of mine they're like, "Hey, I don't have issue 4." And I was like, "Yes, you do." And they're like, "Well, I don't know where it is."
So do
So,
you have all the other issues as an add-on as well?
mhm, I have an insane amount of add-ons. Um,
I like the add-on feature. I built mine where if you back even the first one, you can add on any issue,
yeah, and you
except
should.
Annika's. Well, no, I think you can get Annika's, but I think I'm making it to where the only way you can get Annika's cover is if you do the collector's bundle, where you have to buy all the
Yeah.
covers to get her cover, and then there's gonna be a second collector's bundle if I can pull off the foil cover, where you can do the collector's issue or all the collector's bundle with the foil cover added to it. Um,
There's 2 schools of thought there, like, what you're doing is making it super exclusive, so if you want this exclusive item, this is the way to do it. I have that on some of my merch, like the custom pops, you have to back that tier because 'cause I'm not making that available. There's only 5, and that's the only way I can make sure that there's only 5 is you have to back that
right,
one. But for the books, it's like I have them all in the add-on because if someone just wants to add another like, let's say, because I have a friend that, does this, where he has 1 book that stays in the bag and board and he never opens it, and another book for reading, right? So one goes on the shelf where no one can reach it, and the other one is on the lower shelf where I know this is my readable copy. And so I don't always have that as a tier. Like having 2 covers of the same cover on one tier is kind of weird, but I
yeah,
always have it in the add-on so people can custom make really their own tier, and they
right,
do. So if I have that available right from the beginning, people are more likely to take advantage of it because sometimes they don't want to contact you
right.
and ask for it. I encourage that. I've had people do that in this campaign where they're like, "Hey, can I get A lot of people in the indie community, artists, that are like, "Hey, do you have blanks?" And I was like, I don't have blanks as an option on this campaign, but I have blanks from previous campaigns." So I went into my inventory, I'm like, "I have 5 of number 4 and I have 6 of number 6." I put them as an add-on. So it's like, if you ask
There you
me,
go.
I'll add it to the campaign. So you run that risk that that person may not ask you, and then you miss that opportunity and, to add to it. So
Right. The only thing those are the only 2 things I'm making exclusive is Annika's cover, just because I don't
you have
you know,
to. The
you have
foil
to for her,
covers,
and the foil cover.
the foil
Um,
because they're expensive to
they're
print, guys.
expensive.
And if you gotta do a minimum of 25 of them, that's already a chunk,
Yeah.
you know?
So, they're gonna be exclusive, which
Yeah.
is fine. I don't mind that. The rest, everything else will be you can add what you want. Prints,
You have no
issues,
rules. You can run your
no
campaign
rules.
any way you want, and it's right.
I just need
You know what I mean?
$500, people. That's it.
That's all, it's it.
Just
Just
want it to fund.
yeah, that's it.
Don't need it to fund, just want it to fund, you know?
It helps to pay back some of the
Right.
charges,
Some
like,
of
of
the
course, there's the page rate, and there's the printing charge, and then
I've
there's
already paid
shipping
for the
involved.
artist. I've already paid for I'm about to pay for the printing, all that's all up front. I've already paid the money at this point, you know?
Mhm.
So, now it's time just to recoup and spread the word. And I have some cool pages in there, like the ad page. I have an ad for the comic or for the podcast, and then we have a
Smart.
cool anti-bullying page,
There you
like a
go.
little anti-bullying poster.
Yeah.
I should make that a poster as a stretch goal. See, this is why we do this.
Make sure it's the size that can go into a comic book mailer. Because if it's big and you gotta
Yeah.
ship it in
Oh,
a
no, no, no.
tube,
No, 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 no. I'll make
don't
it a
ship
mini
2.
poster.
Yeah.
A mini poster.
Yeah.
Postcard.
There you go.
No, that's fantastic.
Things to do.
Alright, you have to give your best inspiration piece of advice to the comic community. What is it?
Get back to work.
What?
Get back to work. It ain't gonna write itself. It ain't gonna draw itself. Get back to work. The only way stuff gets done is if you do it. And we wanna read it, and we want to support you. All you gotta do is put in the work. Get back to work. Get back to work. Why are you playing video
That's
games? Get back
phenomenal.
to work.
You I already gave, Lauren the comic mom, uh
I get that.
the
Really,
comic mom
I get it
tagline
all
or
the time.
whatever. You might have just taken it from her,
Get back
but
to work.
get back to work.
Mhm.
I love that. I have my fun questions you gotta do real quick,
Yeah,
but
let's do 'em.
before that, you have to, is there anything that we didn't talk about that you wanna talk about that I didn't ask about? Because the last thing I want is anybody that comes on here
Oh.
to be like, "Oh, I wish you would have asked me this," or,
Um, let's just recap. We talked about the Kickstarter. We talked about oh, you can get the trade paperback if you're overseas, you can get it off of Barnes and Noble and Amazon.com. And so if you don't want to do international shipping from the Kickstarter, you can get it that way using your Prime. I Okay, on the Kickstarter, I don't have international available, but I do it. You just have to contact me and tell me what you want in the box. And so that way I've done this already twice on this campaign for like Canadian backers and I have an Australian backer. You just have to tell me what you want so I can weigh it and give you accurate shipping
shipping.
information because it's super expensive and I don't want to overcharge you and I can't afford to undercharge you. So, but I will do it. All you gotta do is ask. What else? Oh, we were gonna talk about the back cover of Path. So every single back cover of Path of the Pale Rider
Is a
is
riddle.
a riddle, and they will lead you to things in the real world, like working phone numbers, hidden videos on YouTube, websites, Wikipedias. Um, I have one that if you answer it, something shows up in your mailbox from a character.
Wow, that's really
So,
cool.
there's a whole interactive side. We have, in fact, that was what I was gonna post later today. We have, short films that I've produced where not only are they little snippets into things like we didn't have time to explain what it was like for Jude when his spoiler alert, when his mother became undead. Spoiler, sorry. But we go into the family dynamic and how it changes and what does it look like when your loved one is themselves, but slowly losing their memory. And there's a retirement community, but we can't afford to put you there. Right? And then they start sundowning and they're acting out at night. And what does it look like? So we have a section, it's very few pages in the comic, but if you think about how devastating that would be, this is what we explore in this short film. And a lot of these short films, they're fan interactive. So the one I was talking about, it's called A Day in the Life. I zombified 40 people for the credits. And so all they had to do was send me a selfie with them going like this, like that. And then I used photo filters and I just changed their image and I use Procreate. So I like removed their pupils or made a bloody splotched eyes and they're fantastic. So you could see yourself in Path of the Pale Rider too. So we have a lot of fun. This should be fun. That's
Right.
the whole point we're doing it, right? Oh, sorry if I spoiled that for you guys, but I didn't spoil a lot of things. There's a lot of things. So there's riddles, there's conspiracy theories. God, I love this series because this is what I want to read. Oh, come with me on this path for real. We're having fun. It's a great story. It's beautiful art. You ain't getting this from Hollywood, I'll tell you that much.
That's right. It's fully
So,
funded, but it's still live. Go back it now.
yeah, well, it goes from February 7th to March 6th. I will have late pledges, so if you're seeing the replay of this and it's past that time, you can get books. I turn off the merch once campaign is over. So you can't get the hot sauce. We didn't even talk about the hot sauce.
You can talk about the hot sauce.
I make the hot sauce from scratch. My sauce.
That's
And, it's really good. So if you like hot sauce, everybody's tolerance is different. So I have a list, on the campaign of the 6 flavors and then, kind of the level of hotness and then like a food pairing. Was it go on breakfast food? Is it great on like ribs or fish or, is it an everyday sauce like the green sauce? So, if you love hot sauce and you like good flavor, that's what I'm about. A lot of them have heat, like, I use ghost peppers and Carolina Reapers and the hottest 3, um, but, like, the green sauce is mild, and I could put that on anything, so, there's 6 flavors you can get. Let's see, I have a single bottle, I have a 3-bottle option, and then a 5-bottle option, that's just what the boxes come in. If you want all 6 flavors, just get 2 3 boxes and add them on. Yeah, that's the way to get them all, so
where can they get the hot sauce not with the Kickstarter?
in person.
That's it.
That's it. I can't put them on my website because I function under Texas cottage law, and Kickstarter is a kind of a loophole because it's not a sale, it's a pledge. So I'm not selling hot sauce. You're pledging the comic and you get a box of hot sauce samples is what you're getting.
Just don't allow the sale of food. I don't know how that works.
Not out of state,
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
out of state. So when I'm in Texas, you can buy it from me in person. So when you come down to Texas, you can stock up on
Yeah.
hot sauce before you
Sure.
drive home.
There we go.
But
Perfect.
it works. I love having hot sauce at the Comic-Con. Um, Some of the Comic-Cons, I'll even bring food items because I'm a baker as well, so I'll bring, like, my very best chocolate chip cookies and gourmet, Rice Krispie
You had me
treats,
at
and
cookies.
so
I'm definitely coming now.
I mean, the thing is, like, you go to a Comic-Con and usually you bring a friend. Sometimes that friend is not into comics, but everybody is into chocolate chip cookies,
Yeah, very true.
so it's great.
Hanukkah will love a chocolate chip cookie.
I make the best
I
one.
get so mad when we go to the grocery store and they just give her a cookie for free just for being a kid. I'm like, where's mine?
Right. What? I'm a child at heart.
Right? I'm the
Cookie.
biggest kid here. I might be gray, but I'm a kid. Dang it. Just ask my
That
mom. I'm not growing up yet.
and that's so that and then my podcast. I host
Yes.
a
We talked
podcast
very
called The
little about that.
Tuesday Morning Brew. It's Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a longer show. It's a 2-hour block, but we never run out of things to talk about. And my chat is hilarious. We play a game an hour in called Would You Hug This? And I put things on the screen and you just tell me if you would hug them. And
That's fantastic.
have a funny sense of humor, so I get all sorts of things on there.
I get to be on that show
I'm looking forward
May 12th, I think. somewhere
And
around there.
we'll promote your comics. If you're on and your campaign is live, we talk about your campaign. If you don't have a campaign that's live, come on anyway. We'll
Yeah,
talk about your journey. We'll talk about comics. We'll talk about whatever you're working on. Because once you're in indie comics, you're always working on something, right? Get
that's
back to
right.
work.
Get back to work. God, see,
It all ties in.
that exactly. No, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to going on other people's podcasts as well,
Heck yeah.
just to meet more people. I did one with the Super Sanctum Pod a couple weeks ago. That was fun. I'm doing yours. I got a couple others, but I'm gonna work with Jeff and get on some more.
Well, Jeff knows
And
them all.
he does, and he finds them, even
And
if
he
they
knows
have
them all personally.
yeah, even if they have 12 people following and never did an interview in their life, you get a random email. If you have a comic podcast that says, "Hey, do you want to interview?" I'm like,
Yes.
"What?"
Well, I'm telling you, he works
He's
hard.
great. He's awesome.
And it's like, I feel bad because my show is now booked out so far.
Yeah.
So Jeff hardly contacts me anymore because it's like, "Hey, do you have any openings?" I think he was like, "Hey, can I come on and promote Malik?" He's like, "The only week I have open is the week of February 16th." And I was like, "Dude, I'm booked out till like September. And by the way, this is mostly your fault for promoting me."
Right. It's your fault that he can't. Well, so I gave him the link. So same link I sent you to book this, right? I gave him the link and I said, "Hey, give it, book as much as you want, with your people or
Yeah.
yourself." I was like, "But if you still need somebody to get in, like, let me know. I'll get you in.
Yeah.
I'll add a like I was doing October, November, or November. Yeah, October, November. I was doing I had so many people that just wanted to be on. I was,
Yeah.
I have a hard time saying no.
I know.
And it was like, so I was doing 3 episodes a week, and it was just, I was like, I cannot sustain this, you
Problem is
know?
you get burnt out.
Yeah, and I don't wanna
And
do that. I don't wanna get
yeah.
burnt out.
And so you kinda have to stick to your guns about your schedule or
So I don't mind throwing a 3rd one in here and there, right? A week, if I
right.
need to. I'll throw one, to help Jeff or to help somebody or, it's whatever. I will throw a 3rd one in. I'm just not gonna make it available on, online to book, right? Every
Right.
week.
Right.
But I'll do it. So just ask me, that's all it takes is to ask.
I
Have you
mean,
ever been told no when you've asked to be on a podcast?
uh, not usually. The only time I've been told no is if they're like, "Nah, I'm not doing a podcast anymore."
Oh,
Where it's like they were doing it and then they get burnt out and they need a
right.
break, and it's like, "Hey, I'm not podcasting right now." And then, then it's a no. But with this face, when people tell me
Who would
no,
tell you no?
I don't like, "Hey,
Exactly.
I'm this girl, I do comics, I have undead bears, and we write about zombies," and they're like, "Come on the show," and I'm like, "Cool."
Cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Get Jeff's help, be on some more shows. That's gonna
Heck
be
yeah.
fun.
You will learn a ton too, and that's one of the best
That's something
things
else.
about
Yeah.
having a podcast, and I know you know this because you're already doing it, right? Is you get to talk a lot of people and pick their brains and take notes and push yourself to do something new. It's awesome. I love it. It's the best
We
way to
do
go.
new stuff. I try to do new stuff all the time because that helps, with the burnout too, just keep it
Mhm.
fresh, keep doing different
Yeah.
things. And, like I'm gonna ask you these questions and then I've got to come up with the second list. Like I need a second list of questions so when they come back on
Yeah.
repeat guests, which is gonna start happening here
Yeah.
soon. I can't ask them the same questions I've already asked them.
Right.
I gotta have a part two. So
That's
I'm working on
exactly
that.
right.
All right, who was your first favorite superhero? Or a comic character? It doesn't have to be a superhero.
Um,
To clarify.
I I hate superheroes.
Okay. What about comic character? That's why
The
I said it could be a
first
comic
book I know,
character.
I know, I hate to I know people are gonna come for me.
No, they're not.
Um, I've read Batman and, like, I enjoyed Batman, but the first graphic novel that I read that really resonated me with was Who Watches the Watchmen? Because it is so nuanced and dark and realistic about who these they're all flawed, and, like, the one truly superhero in that does not have humanity. Like, that is such a great book.
I
So,
literally
The
was
Watchmen.
standing in Barnes& and Noble yesterday when we were at the mall, reading pages from The Watchmen.
Such an amazing
Like,
book,
I have to
and
buy
I've
the
learned
book.
I do things like because again,
Should
there's a
have bought
story
it.
in a story where he's the kid's at the newsstand reading the Pirate Roberts, comic book inside the comic book, and it's just like, there's so many layers and things. You could read that 1,000 times and get something different every time.
The
So,
movie, I've probably watched the movie 1,000 times.
the
I
movie's good,
love them
but
so good.
the book is
I'm sure
so
it
much
is.
better. So much better.
I'm getting to be
Get
that
it, buy
person.
it. That one. The
I know it's only
Canadian?
$10. They have it in like the little I don't know what format it is, but the new printing of these books, they're putting a lot out.
Mhm.
They're like, novel size books.
Yeah, like 6 by
And they're
9,
only
right?
yeah, they're
Size
like
it?
6 by 9 and they're only $10
Yeah,
for like the whole story.
do it.
I should have bought it. I don't know why I didn't. I was standing there literally reading it for 5 minutes in the bookstore yesterday.
It's a masterpiece, and you will learn a lot. And that's the thing is find these books that resonate with you, read them through, love them, and then go back and be like, "Why is this so good? Why is this chapter so good? What is it about this story that makes me hooked? Why am I hooked?"
Right.
And dissect it, and then take it.
Now you're giving me writing advice.
I'm here for you.
Um, but that's the coolest thing. You said you hate superheroes, which is perfectly normal. Like that's what I love. Like I'm a huge Thor fan. You can tell I
Yeah.
have a lot of Thor stuff behind me. I love Thor, but you don't have to like superheroes to like
No,
comics. There's so
comics
many
are so
comics out there
many.
that aren't superheroes.
Yes.
I don't really have a superhero in my book. Panel Pete's not a superhero. He's just a
Right.
being, a
Yes.
thing,
Thing.
you know? He can be a superhero if you want him to be, but he can be whatever you want him to be.
So, like,
That gave me another idea.
my background is like Why the Last Man Standing, Walking Dead, Invincible, like Robert Kirkman. I love reading Robert Kirkman. Black Science, Saga, image books. I'm there. Like that's where I was. So I wasn't really reading superheroes. Um, I like the Winter Soldier. I don't know if he's considered a superhero. Like, but again, I
Probably
like those characters that are flawed.
flawed. Yeah.
Hmm. They speak to me.
All right.
Take that
Hey,
for
there's
what you
nothing wrong
will.
with that. I'm glad you're the first one that's actually turned that question into a full conversation. So
There
that's
you go.
awesome. Do you remember the first comic book you ever read?
Watchmen.
Good enough.
Sure. Yes, I do. I was in college.
Fine. I'm going to buy it. Not today, but this week. Maybe my comic shop. I don't know if he has it. If he does, I'll buy it this week when I'm there.
There
When
you
you
go.
can get the digger finally after weeks and weeks of delays. But anyway, poor Diaz. I feel so bad. But I got Do Not Disturb, the other Invader comic,
Oh, I see it.
a couple weeks ago.
Beautiful.
So theirs came out, which was awesome. Can't wait for Kate's to come out too.
Dude, the day,
Uh,
AJ, that you get your comic is like Christmas and birthday
oh,
and
we didn't talk
anniversary
about that. Yeah.
all on the same day. I cannot wait for that day for you.
Well, so we're going. I'm like I told you, I'm
No,
going to the print shop.
yeah.
I will be there recording as it's
You
coming off the
thank
printer,
you. Like,
right?
you better record that.
Yeah.
You better.
I'm gonna put up like a
It
Hero
only
H
happens once,
whatever what are
right?
those cameras called? Hero cameras, whatever.
With a gimbal in it?
Yeah, well, I'll
Uh-huh.
put one of those up in the corner. I have my phone. I'll have Annika
Yeah.
with her iPad. We'll have multiple angles. I already told Chris like I'm taking over your shop for the day. He's like, yeah, I know, it's fine. We might stay after hours to do it. I don't know because I don't want
Yeah.
to mess up his
Right, he's like, "You
production.
you not touch the
but
thing."
we might be there till 2 in the morning. With this because I'm gonna see the first one and I'll be like, oh, this is
Yes,
amazing. I might start crying and
do
then
it.
I'll
Let
be
it
like,
out.
I need to change this. No.
That happens immediately, you're like, "Oh, this is so cool. Imma change all of it."
I'm
"No,
gonna change all of it.
damn it."
I hope not. There's only one page I'm worried about. It's the title page because I think the words are going to be too small because I have a lot of information on the title page
Mhm.
because I put a lot of people's names on the title page because a lot of people help me in this process. So it's like I want to thank them.
Absolutely. Next question.
What's your favorite current series?
Current series I'm reading. These are all
So
indie
many. That's okay. That's what we're here for.
because I don't read a lot of mainstream, to be honest with you. So, I'm reading so Psycho Sal just finished. Incredible series. It's a William Russell creator-owned. I helped write some of the middle issues, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 I wrote,
That's
and then
awesome.
Chris Hayes wrote number 9. I love that series. I'm also reading another one I really love is Immortal Era by Edward Davis. And it's like the cousin of Path of the Pale Rider because in his world, death is broken, but it looks completely different than my world. And he's the only other writer that I've met that has broken death. Like it's not a virus or a zombieism,
Right.
it's something different. And so he's pretty dark like I am. He will kill things that don't deserve it. And yeah, when you find out what the chicken farm is, I'm sorry. I was aghast as well. So anyway, I highly recommend that series. He's not done yet. I think we just backed issue 11 and then I think he has 12 and then it's done. So, um
Okay.
good series, great series. 100% recommend. There's so many though. I mean like anything written by Fish Lee is good. The Green Zone, Alice Lost in Wonderland, uh
Alice is really good. I've read Alice. I haven't read The Green
oh,
Zone yet. I've
oh,
got a
you gotta
couple
read Green
copies of
Zone.
Alice laying around. TS
That's
was
so
sent me
good.
some.
Mhm.
That was nice. What else he sent me? Greens. I will. Yeah, we'll definitely back good old Fish, Mr. Fish, my comic twin from another mother, apparently.
Yes. My bestie Carissa Grant, anything that she has like 3 series running. It's
Jeez.
Worthy Chaos, Redemption, Worthy Chaos, Devastation, and then Worthy Chaos, Damnation is coming out. She hasn't released it yet. Um, Would they, won't they, Devils versus Angels with she is the queen of creatures. One of them has all these cryptids, another one is just like zombies and plant monsters and I can't even come up with half the stuff creature-wise that she throws in there, just pure action. God, there's so much good stuff out there.
There is a lot of good stuff. Just follow the indie comic community on social.
Can I say something real quick? We
No.
just got backer number 69. You. That is all.
That was phenomenal. Yes, you can say anything you want. I was just joking when I said no. This is a podcast. You say whatever you want.
True.
I don't care. I can
Right.
edit. I do all the editing, so
Right. He's like, you can say whatever you want. I'll just edit it out later.
right. I'm not. No, I don't normally edit these episodes too much. Very little, unless they're like, "Oh, wait, can you really not make me
Yeah.
say that?"
Like, oh, I
Sure.
spoiled the ending of my book. Can you not?
I had one guy talk crap about his girlfriend, and he's like, "Can you take that part out?" I'm like, "Yeah, buddy, I got you."
Whoops. Don't put that out there.
Well, it's like he wasn't being that mean. It was just like one of those things. Like she didn't support the
It's
Kickstarter or
hard.
something. It was something
Yeah.
like that, right? And
Yeah.
he's like, "I probably shouldn't have said that." I'm like,
Yeah.
"No problem, I got you."
Mhm. I love you. Don't break up with me.
Right. All right. If you could live in any comic book universe, which would it be? Got to be yours, right?
I would not wanna live in mine. Okay, so I write all my trauma into my series. All the things I'm afraid of are going on. I don't wanna live there. I
Right.
was gonna say, where do I wanna live? Why The Last Man Standing sounds fabulous.
Well,
I'm just kidding. I just kidding. I wanna live in X-Men. I want to have I would totally sign up to be an X-Men or, there's a I just pick one where I could be a super villain or a badass, martial artist. Sign me up there. I wanna
ooh,
be a samurai. I wanna
Bigfoot
fight
knows
swords.
karate.
Huh?
Bigfoot knows karate.
Yeah, but I'd have to be a Bigfoot.
Wow.
Satsumi, the one my friend Matt Knowles is, where she's a pirate on a pirate, like, sword fighting, like, sign me up for
Wait,
that.
what is that one?
Satsumi, T-A-S-S wait, T-A-T-S-U-M-I, Satsumi. It's live right now. I think they're on issue 2, but it's like swashbuckling pirates and,
I
um,
love pirates.
oh,
There's going to be a Western,
yes,
Panel Pete Western. There's going to be a Panel Pete pirate. Those two things will happen. This might be a while, but those two things will happen.
amazing.
So we're getting the medieval one coming next. That's your
I
spoiler.
love it.
Um,
It's like Bill and Ted meets Panel
yeah,
Beat. You can
I'd
just
go
get
to
in the
anywhere.
telephone booth and go anywhere.
I love this part that I can just do
Yeah,
and it all fits. Can all be one shots. They'll all have a little message in it, for
nice.
kids, and it'll be great. Where was I? I'm gonna go check out the pirates. I like pirates.
Yeah, Satsumi.
All right. If you could have any superpower, what would you choose?
I would wanna clone myself. Multiple Lauries. I could write, and I could cook dinner, and I could be with the kids,
So you
and I
wanna
could
be
do all the
Doctor
things.
Manhattan, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know about he's what's the one from X-Men where he was, like, multiple it's like multiple Dan the one from the movie where he was, like they were in the forest, it was, the Phoenix, the one with the Phoenix, Jean Grey, where he was in the camp, and, like, they raided the camp, but it was just this one guy, and he had multiplied himself
Yeah,
100
yeah,
times.
yeah.
That
I
guy.
don't remember that guy's name,
I
but
don't
yeah.
remember his name, but I would love to have I always say this all the time, I wish I had a clone. I do
Yep.
so much stuff, and, my schedule is so busy that if I had multiple versions of me to get stuff done, I could be
You could
ooh,
relax and read more indie comics.
I could do that, I could get through my TBR list, I could bake bread every day and pick up the kids and write while I'm at it, so
Exactly.
clone me 1,000 times, please.
Alright, what character would you want any character, comic book character, as your personal sidekick? One that could clone and do all the work for
Yeah,
you.
like, one that will do all my housework. Just knows
Rosie
multiple
from the
arms.
Jetsons?
Yeah, I would love well, the scary thing is we're almost there.
We are almost there. I don't have my flying car yet, dang it.
Ah, Elon Musk, get on that.
Yeah, come on,
Um,
Musk.
yeah, as much as I say I would love to have a robot that could do my cleaning, I would never buy a robot
No,
to
I
do
wouldn't either.
I'm too afraid of that. Seen too
Right.
many Matrix movies,
We're already
AI,
in the AI
I'm
Matrix.
Robot,
Yeah,
I
Terminator.
Robot, like, nah, nah, nah. We don't need the uprising happening in my kitchen.
Toaster just tried to kill me.
Transformers, there we go.
Exactly.
Mountain Dew shooting out of the vending machine. Ah. Stop it, duck.
Alright, we gotta pick something better than that or, less frightening as a
Yeah,
sidekick.
less frightening, please. Maybe one that could, teleport. We have a teleporter.
Nightcrawler?
Okay, because I would love to go to Comic Cons that are farther away, but it's hard to
It is
get
hard.
there and stay in a hotel and all the overhead and time. If I could just teleport there, and then I can teleport to like my brother's house and eat sourdough bread and come home. That would be great
Right.
because he bakes too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's the furthest one you've traveled to so far?
I think Red River was like an hour and a half each way, and I was driving. I haven't stayed in a hotel overnight to do one yet. The Mockingbird Lane is actually gonna be my furthest,
Okay. The one
first
in
one in
San
March.
Antonio?
San Antonio is the furthest I will go this year. I've been invited out of state, I've chickened out, though.
Well, you're going to Oklahoma?
Yeah, but Oklahoma's so close, I drive and come back.
Okay. Alright, it's the last question. In this segment, we got 10 more segments to go, so we got
What?
no, I'm just kidding.
I was like, "I gotta cook dinner."
Yeah, I know, we gotta wrap this up. We got a Super Bowl in, like, a couple
Yeah,
hours.
yeah, I was like, "Well,
Um,
longest show ever."
right. They
We're
can
gonna
go
break the
for it.
record today. Yeah.
Some of them go quite a while.
Yeah.
It's fine. Then there's sometimes I'm 20 minutes in and I've asked every question I can possibly think of out of my
Ooh,
list of all these
my
questions,
gosh.
and I'm like, I got nothing. Like, say something,
It's
please.
hard. I know some people are just not. Like, I run a 2-hour show, and sometimes,
Yeah,
yeah, 20 minutes in, I'm like, "Ooh, this isn't gonna go
this
well."
is not gonna be
I
good.
think you gotta give me more than two-word answers.
Right. Those are the hardest. I don't. Oh. All right. If your life were a comic book, what would the
Yeah.
title be? Which
I've been planning for this one because I've seen you ask this one all the time on
Oh.
your
Yeah, because I
TikTok.
share this one a lot for some reason.
Um, my comic book would be called Too Stubborn to Quit.
Too stubborn. I thought for sure you were gonna just say The Pale.
Get back to work.
No, actual title of your comic book, 'cause you said you write all your trauma into it.
It is in there, and I'm sorry because if you're traumatized by half of the things that I am, it's a rough ride. Yeah. But my comic book based on my life would be called Too Stubborn to Quit. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, and get back to work.
Get back to work. That's on the first page.
That should be a comic. Too stubborn to quit. And then the first page, get back to
Get back to
work.
work.
The
That's
end.
it. That's the entire comic. 2
You should
pages.
do that on the mini comics. If you actually made one with pages, it would just say get back to work.
Back to work. You open it up, it's like, "What are you doing?"
Get back to work. Quit
You
playing with
flip
these
the
mini
page
books. Get
flip
back
the
to
page,
work.
it says, "Repeat step 1."
Next page, if you didn't like the first step, see step 1, or the last
Yeah.
step, see step 1. Get back to work. No, Laurie, this has been phenomenal. We went 2 hours and 25 minutes so far. That's awesome. I don't know what the record is. I'd have to go back and look, but it doesn't matter. We could do another 2 hours, I'm sure, but we have
Yeah.
lives and kids and, things that need to get done. But this has
Mhm.
been awesome. I can't wait to do it again. You're
Yes.
welcome back anytime. So when you
Thank
launch
you.
number 9, we'll have you back.
Yeah.
Just give me enough time, notice, and
Plenty of time.
I'll give you I'm working on the pop-in link too, so you'll be able to jump
Cool.
on that one day too. That way you get
Yeah.
to hang out with Monica. So
Yes, I was gonna say that's one thing I wanted to do. It's on my bucket list is to get back on and interact with Annika because it's hilarious. She's hilarious.
she is hilarious. She has her days. She's
Mhm.
funny. She's awesome though, and she's loving doing this. And we'll go back the campaign, follow on socials, all that stuff. Where can they find your old books? Amazon, you said? Anywhere else?
So the trade paperback, which is issues 1 through 4, is on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. I have a website. It's just pathofthepalewriter.com. Um, all of my books are on there. Things go out of print. Some of the variants. That's why you should back the Kickstarter. Is because if you're looking for those exclusive covers by those variant artists, they're on the campaign. I always have previous issues available. A lot of times it's the main cover. But if you're looking for something like, "Hey, do you have a William Russell issue 3?" And if I have it, I'll put it up there for you. Um, so yeah, I mean, the campaign is really where it's at. I have the best rewards on there that you cannot get anywhere else, and then my stretch goals are legendary. So if you want to get the
Learning.
poker cards and the scratch and sniff stickers and the PDFs and the coffee beans and the hard candy, the hot sauce, you gotta participate in the Kickstarter. It's the best. We have a fun time. Go watch the silly videos of me. I've run myself over with a car. I've slipped and fallen on banana peels and got chicken nuggets thrown at my head. So they're all in these videos that I make because I'm a psychopath. But yeah, we have a good time, and please, um, support indie comics. We are passionate about our stories. You're not going to find the reboot, recycle, rehash garbage from Hollywood. Okay. If you want something besides that, come to indie. We love it. We love it when you read our stories. We love it when you give us feedback about our stories. I love it when people are like, "Hey, I found this in the back corner of your," like we found Waldo drawn into this panel. Yes, you did. Perfect. I love it. I love it that you look that hard. So solve the riddles, do all the things, drink the hot sauce out of the bottle should you wish. I have people that do that too.
Is the paperback available? Isn't that on?
Yes. So I
Wait.
actually have 2 sizes of the trade. I have a full size trade, which is from the original first printing. I have maybe like 20 of those left from the first print. And then I have 6x9, the digest size, which is the newer updated one with I relettered the whole book. And that's through Rolling Squid Bones. So I have those available on the campaign. They're nice because they're a little bit lower of a price point. The full size trade is 25. The 6x9 is 16. And the 6x9 is what's on Amazon. Um, but if you get them from me, I can sign them for you. And I
Nah,
have
see, now you got me. I got to get them in person now. So.
yeah, and I have an embosser, so I
Ooh, oh, I
emboss.
saw that. Saw that
Yeah, I was
video.
like my friend Christopher Brown sent that to me. He was like, "Happy birthday." And I was like, "It's not even my birthday." He was like, "I don't care, you need this." And I was like, "Okay." So yeah, my video, I was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Emboss all the things."
I saw those
I was
videos.
like,
Those
"Emboss
were
this and
great.
emboss that, emboss that." I may have a problem with the embossing.
It's okay.
So, but I will emboss and sign your 6x9 digest should you purchase one from
Perfect.
me.
I will. Yeah, we'll make that happen. Well, Laurie, thanks so much for being on. This has been fantastic.
Yes.
You're welcome back anytime.
Thank
And
you.
go back all the Kickstarter stuff. It's been amazing.
Thank you. Yes. I appreciate it. Thank you. And I love being on your show. I've been watching you on TikTok and then really enjoying and cracking up and having a good time seeing your
Thank you.
guests. Like, I definitely, if you guys are here because of me, go follow this podcast, like and share and all of that stuff, because this is a great show. Come be on the show.
Right?
Right?
Thanks.
Do that.
Exactly. Be on the show. So
Yeah.
we're booked till beginning of May, I think, right now. So we're doing pretty good.
Popular show.
Awesome. Thanks so much. A small town tucked inside a quiet comic shop. Something magical is waking up. Billy never felt like he belonged. A new school, a couple of bullies, and no real friends. But everything changes when he finds a forgotten comic in the dollar box. From the pages of a comic comes a tiny, shape-shifting hero determined to help Billy find his confidence. He whispers encouragement, he sneaks through the halls, and he shows Billy the hero he can become. Because sometimes all it takes is one unexpected friend to help you rewrite your story. From the dollar bin to the real world, the Chronicles of Panel Pete, an all-ages fantasy one-shot adventure. A story about courage, friendship, and the magic waiting in every comic shop. Created and written by A.J. Reimann. Illustrated and co-written by Mike Algier. Are you ready for issue 1? Trying to start a podcast but feeling stuck? At Aquadio, we help creators make waves with everything you need to bring your voice to life. Hosting, recording, editing, and marketing. Whether you're starting from scratch or just need a little help polishing your sound, we're here to hydropower your creativity. Comment on this video or DM us today and let's dive in.